Hi group, I am going to report on the interview that I did. I would have loved to be able to attend the Tuesday meeting. However, that's when we're throwing Boston's baby shower. So I figured that was a good place to go, or a good activity to do instead of attending the class. So what I chose to do was talk to one of my classmates who is a part of the Child and Family Advocacy Committee here on campus. She is the secretary, and she's been the secretary for 2 semesters. The reason why I chose to talk to her was because I felt like, because she's just like one step ahead of me, it would help me find some grounding of where I could start to be more proactive in my volunteering. So I could have talked to somebody much higher, but I really want to start somewhere that's practical, I guess. So I interviewed Amiee Angel. She, like I said, has been the secretary of the Child and Family Advocacy Committee for 2 semesters. As I talked to her, I asked her how she got acquainted with the committee, and she had said that it was something that she had just found through on campus while she was actually a graphic design major. But because of the experiences that she's been able to have on this committee, she has decided to change her major, and she says that it's all because of the love that she has for advocating. And she just talked a lot about how all of the committee members that are working with her all do it out of the pure love of their hearts and the desire that they have to advocate for families and children. So I asked her kind of what the structure of this committee is. And she said that when she first started, it was a very small committee, but it's grown over a period of time, over the past 2 semesters. They now have 14 to 16 volunteer leaders. So there's Amiee plus her 3 people that she works specifically with, and then everybody in the committee is in subgroups. So Amiee is in charge of the newsletter, and her committee helps her committee of 4 helps her do that. Another committee is over a talk show or the radio announcing. Some of them are over making sure that there are microphones at the meetings or whatever else. She said that they are trying to work with other committees on campus so that there's more unity. They said in the past, or she said, and I remember this one, they flew in the man that wrote How to Not Fall in Love with a Jerk or something, and she said that's very expensive, but because they were able to do that with another committee, it made it more possible. And I know I attended that meeting, and I know there were so many, I would guess a couple hundred attendees that came to that, and that was amazing. She said a couple of other topics that are discussed is same-sex, abortion, pornography, human trafficking, human intolerance, dating and marriage skills, and I can remember seeing ads for one of the dating and marriage things, local and domestic policy, radical feminism, cohabitation, fatherlessness, media abuse, poor education, and poverty. As I asked her again about the structure, going back to that, she had discussed how everything that the committee does is really spirit-based, and how they offer a prayer at the beginning of their main meetings, which is an hour every week, which is amazing because all of these are college students that are not being paid, and that is commendable to me. But they start with a prayer, and then they have a thought, and then they just, whatever the Spirit kind of brings up with the agenda is what they talk about, and the direction that they feel like they need to go for the semester or for that time. And they start making plans as to what needs to happen so that they can be advocating and holding big meetings to help inform people. Shifting from the Child and Family Advocacy that she's a part of, I asked her kind of what she's hoping to do after college and how she's going to continue to advocate, because you could tell from the way that she was speaking, her aura and her excitement was so high, and you could tell the love that she had for advocating. And she said her main goal is to really be a mother, but because that's not practical right now, that she's not married, she needs to start other places. So she said she'd like to talk to bishops or stake presidents about hosting parenting classes or media awareness and things like that. And I really am so grateful that she said that, because that's exactly where I feel like I can start. Being in the place that I'm at, just having a new baby, I don't see myself going out in the community and working under somebody, or being a part of a already existing advocacy group. I feel like it's something that I'm going to have to do myself by going to the bishop or to the stake president and asking to host advocating classes to help inform people, because both of us felt as we talked that people are just uninformed, and that by teaching we can get that information out. I had such an amazing time talking to Amiee. I felt very uplifted as I talked to her. I think one of the things that struck me just the most is this is a group that is under Brother Rarick, but he's not at most of the meetings. It's really just these college students getting together weekly, making things happen, setting goals, making plans, and seeing fruits of it. And she says the fruits of it are that it's flourishing. She said when she started, they had 7 to 8 volunteer members, and now they have 14 to 16. Like, that is amazing fruit. She said that she was asked to be on the committee because she had attended so many of the activities and things like that, and whoever was in charge at that time asked her to be part of the committee. Anyway, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I thought it was wonderful. I feel like I have somebody that I can also relate to now, that's in the same boat as me, that if she lives in a town and I live in a town and we're both trying to do the same things, advocating for the same things, we can make a difference in the world. And that, I feel like, is what is important and what God asks us to do. I loved how she just was so in love with all of these topics, and the true desire in her heart was deep, and I was so grateful for that. So thank you guys for taking 7 minutes of your time, almost 8 minutes, and have a great evening. Bye.